My in-laws constantly compared me to my husband's ex and said she was better. So I filed for divorce and now he's the one paying alimony. We can't keep going without your love. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling us your location. We'd love to know where our stories reach. I should have known something was wrong when Ralph's mother, Diane, showed up to our 5th anniversary dinner with a photo album. Not our wedding album. Pictures of Ralph and his ex-girlfriend, Simone. Remember when Simone made you that homemade peach cobbler for your birthday? Diane cooed, flipping through pages at the table of Mastro's Steakhouse. How that girl could cook. My fork clattered against the plate. Ralph touched my hand but said nothing. He never did. Mom, can we not do this tonight? He finally muttered, but his voice carried no real conviction. Diane smiled sweetly at me. Oh honey, I'm just reminiscing. No offense to you, Kendra. You're sweet. Sweet. That word dripped with condescension. I forced a smile and excused myself to the bathroom, where I stared at my reflection in the mirror. My hands gripped the marble sink until my knuckles turned white. When I returned, Ralph's father, Robert, had joined the conversation. Simone was at the church fundraiser last week. Still single, still beautiful. She asked about you, son. That's nice, Ralph said, cutting his steak with surgical precision. Nice. Diane laughed. It's a blessing. That girl was like family to us. Still is, really. I set down my wine glass carefully. I'm sitting right here. The table went silent. Diane's eyes met mine and I saw something cold there. Something calculating. Of course you are, dear, she said. We're just having a conversation. That night I lay awake beside Ralph, listening to him snore. 5 years of marriage and I'd become invisible. A placeholder for the woman they really wanted. Tomorrow would be different. Tomorrow I'd start documenting everything. I hired a private investigator on Monday morning. His name was Trevor Jameson, a retired detective with kind eyes and a no-nonsense attitude. Mrs. Williams, what exactly are you looking for? He asked in his downtown office. The truth, I said. About Simone. About my in-laws. About my husband. What Trevor found made my blood run cold. Diane and Robert had been meeting Simone regularly. Coffee dates, lunches, even helping her financially. Ralph knew. Bank statements showed he'd been sending her money too. $500 monthly for 2 years. What's the money for? I demanded when Trevor showed me the records. According to the memo lines, helping a friend. But there's more. He slid another document across his desk. Your husband has been meeting her too. Dinners. Hotels. My stomach lurched. Hotels. The Ritz, the Four Seasons. Always separate rooms but always the same nights. I drove home in a daze, memories flooding back. All those business trips Ralph claimed. The late nights at the office. His mother's knowing smiles. When Ralph came home that evening, I was sitting in our living room, documents spread across the coffee table. Kendra? What's all this? The truth, I said calmly. How long have you been seeing her? His face went pale. It's not what you think. Don't. My voice cracked. Just don't. Your parents worship her. You've been sneaking around with her. You've been funding her life while I worked 60-hour weeks to help pay off your student loans. She needed help. And your wife didn't need honesty? I stood up, shaking. Get out. This is my house too. Then enjoy it alone tonight. Diane called the next morning, her voice syrupy sweet. Kendra, darling, Ralph told us you're having some concerns. Why don't we all sit down and talk? Family meeting. Tonight at our house. Every instinct screamed to refuse, but I needed to face them. To hear what excuse they'd manufacture. Their Buckhead mansion looked imposing in the evening light. Inside, the entire family had gathered, Ralph, his parents, his sister Brielle, even his grandmother, Nana Jean. There's our girl. Robert boomed, but his eyes were cold. Come sit. I sat. Across from me, Ralph looked miserable. Good. Diane began. Honey, Ralph explained everything. Simone was going through a difficult divorce. He was just helping an old friend. In hotel rooms? I asked quietly. Nana Jean's head snapped up. Hotels. Separate rooms, Nana. Ralph interjected quickly. We talked. That's all. Behind my back, I added. With financial support I knew nothing about. While your mother compared me to her constantly. Brielle laughed. Oh, here we go. You're being dramatic, Kendra. Simone is family to us. She always will be. More family than me. His actual wife. Diane leaned forward. Sweetheart, you're family too. But you have to understand, Simone and Ralph have history. First loves are special. They have a bond that's enough. Nana Jean's cane hit the floor. Diane, what kind of foolishness is this? This girl is his wife. Mama, stay out of this, Diane snapped. The room erupted. Voices overlapping, accusations flying. Then Ralph said the words that sealed our fate. Maybe Mom's right. Maybe I married the wrong woman. Silence. I stood slowly, grabbed my purse. Where are you going? Ralph asked. To file for divorce. Attorney Janelle Morrison's office smelled like leather and justice. She was a black woman in her 50s, sharp as a blade, with a reputation for destroying unfaithful spouses in court. Tell me everything, she said. I did. The comparisons, the secret meetings, the money, the hotels, that final devastating statement from Ralph. Janelle's eyes lit up. Oh honey, we're going to ruin him. I don't want to ruin him, I said. I just want out. Sweetness, wanting out and ruining him aren't mutually exclusive. He pulled out a legal pad. You worked full-time during the marriage, correct? Yes. I'm a marketing director at Apex Solutions. I make $95,000 annually. And Ralph? He's a senior architect. $170,000. Janelle smiled. But you paid his student loans, I see from these bank statements you provided. $78,000 over 5 years. You also funded the down payment on your house, your inheritance from your father. My throat tightened. Daddy died 3 years ago. That money was supposed to be for our future children. Georgia is an equitable distribution state, Janelle continued. But with evidence of emotional abuse, financial infidelity, and your contributions, we can argue for alimony. Especially if we prove marital misconduct. Can we? Hotels, secret meetings, financial betrayal, and his own family's psychological warfare against you? Oh yes. But I need more. I need evidence his parents knew and facilitated this. I need proof this was coordinated. I can get it, I said. How? I smiled grimly. I'm going to their Sunday dinner. Janelle raised an eyebrow. Wearing a wire? Wearing the truth. They can't help themselves. They'll confess everything if they think they've won. Sunday dinner at the Williams household was a tradition. Missing it was considered blasphemy. So when I showed up that weekend they were surprised but pleased. Kendra. Diane hugged me. I'm so glad you came to your senses. The recording device Trevor had given me sat snug against my ribcage, hidden beneath my blouse. I smiled. We need to talk. Inside, the family gathered around the dining table. Simone was there. She sat in my usual seat. Oh, Simone said, not moving. Kendra. Hi. She was beautiful. Caramel skin, long braids, curves in all the right places. Everything Diane had told me I wasn't. Simone's joining us for dinner, Diane announced. Isn't that wonderful? Ralph wouldn't meet my eyes. I sat in a different chair. Actually, it's perfect. I wanted everyone here. Robert carved the roast. Changed your mind about the divorce? No. I wanted to understand something. I looked directly at Simone. Did you sleep with my husband? She blinked. Excuse me. Simple question. The hotels. The secret meetings. Did you sleep with him? Kendra, that's inappropriate, Diane began. Answer her, Nana Jean said from the corner. I hadn't noticed her there. Simone's eyes filled with tears. We talked. About old times. About what we lost. Did you kiss him? Silence. Once, Ralph whispered. Only once. 3 months ago. The room exploded. Brielle defending Ralph. Robert shouting at me for forcing this confession. Diane comforting Simone. I stood. Thank you. That's all I needed. Needed for what? Ralph demanded. For court. His face drained of color. You're recording this? Every word. Ralph's lawyer, Jeffrey Klein, was a smug white man in an expensive suit. He thought he'd intimidate me. Mrs. Williams, he began during my deposition. Isn't it true you've been vindictive and unreasonable throughout this marriage? No, I said calmly. Isn't it true you refused to attend family functions? I attended every function. I have photos time-stamped and geotagged. Janelle smiled beside me. Jeffrey shifted. Your husband claims you were emotionally distant. My husband kissed his ex-girlfriend while married to me, while his family psychologically tormented me for 5 years. Would you like to hear the recordings? We played them. Diane's voice crystal clear. Simone was better in every way. I told Ralph not to marry you, but he felt sorry for you. Robert, you'll never fill Simone's shoes. Stop trying. Brielle, you're just a placeholder until Ralph comes to his senses. Jeffrey's face reddened. These recordings may not be admissible. Georgia is a one-party consent state, Janelle interrupted. Every recording is perfectly legal. Then we played the dinner recording. Ralph admitting to kissing Simone. The family's coordinated cruelty. Your client, Janelle said, not only committed adultery but did so with his family's knowledge and encouragement. My client contributed significantly to marital assets, including $78,000 to his student loans and $90,000 to their home down payment. She's requesting alimony, full reimbursement, and her name removed from all joint debts. Ralph leaned forward. Kendra, please. Can we talk alone? No, I said. I made a mistake. You made a choice. Multiple choices. Every single day for 5 years. I love you. You love what I provided. Stability. Money. Someone to compare unfavorably to your precious Simone. I stood. We're done here. Ralph showed up at my apartment. I'd moved out weeks ago. At midnight. Drunk. Kendra. Baby, open up. He pounded on the door. I called the police and Trevor. They both arrived within minutes. Sir, you need to leave, the officer said. That's my wife. Ralph slurred. Sir, there's a restraining order. What? Ralph lunged forward. Trevor caught him, holding him back until the officers could restrain him. You got a restraining order? Ralph shouted as they cuffed him. Against me. You kissed another woman. Your family harassed me. What did you expect? I expected my wife to stand by me. The officer pushed him toward the patrol car. You're going to sober up in jail, buddy. The next morning, Jeffrey called Janelle with a counteroffer. Ralph would agree to the divorce but wanted to split everything 50-50. No alimony. Absolutely not, Janelle said on speakerphone in her office. Your client committed adultery. He's getting nothing. My client made a mistake. Your client's family psychologically abused my client for 5 years while he betrayed her financially and emotionally. We have recordings. We have bank statements. We have hotel receipts. Do you really want this to go to trial? Silence on the other end. Here's our offer, Janelle continued. Kendra keeps the house. It was purchased primarily with her inheritance. Ralph pays alimony of $2,000 monthly for 5 years. He reimburses her for his student loan payments. They split the remaining assets 60-40 in her favor. That's ridiculous. Or we go to trial and I play those recordings for a judge. Your choice. Jeffrey hung up. He'll take it, Janelle said confidently. How do you know? She smiled. Because his career depends on his reputation. And I'll make sure every architecture firm in Atlanta hears those recordings if he doesn't. Nana Jean called me 3 weeks later. Baby girl, can I come see you? She was the only Williams I'd speak to. She defended me at that disastrous dinner. When she arrived at my apartment, she looked older, frilier. But her eyes were still sharp. I need to tell you something, she said. About Simone. My heart raced. What about her? She's pregnant. The room tilted. What? Found out last week. He told Diane. Diane's over the moon. Nana Jean's voice hardened. She thinks it's Ralph's. Is it? I don't know, baby. But the timing. She pulled out her phone, showing me a text from Brielle. 3 months along. Same time as that kiss Ralph mentioned. I felt sick. He said it was only a kiss. Men lie. Especially Williams men. Nana Jean squeezed my hand. But here's what you need to know. Diane's been planning this. She never accepted you. She's been trying to get Ralph back with Simone since your wedding day. Why? Because Simone comes from money. Old Atlanta money. Her family's connected. Diane thought you were beneath us because your daddy was a mechanic. Nana Jean's eyes filled with tears. I'm ashamed of my daughter, Kendra. But you need to know this before the divorce is final. Does Ralph know about the pregnancy? Not yet. But he will soon. And when he does, he'll come crawling back to you. I laughed bitterly. Why would I take him back? You wouldn't. But he'll try. And you need to be ready. He was right. 3 days later, Ralph called. Kendra, we need to talk. It's important. No. Simone's pregnant. I closed my eyes. Congratulations. It's not mine. Ralph showed up at my office. Security nearly threw him out, with wild eyes and disheveled clothes. Kendra, please. 5 minutes. Against my better judgment, I agreed. We sat in a conference room, glass walls exposing us to my curious colleagues. Simone's pregnant, he began. But it's not mine. You kissed her. You met her at hotels. Forgive me if I don't believe you. We never had sex. I swear on my life. Your swear means nothing to me anymore. He broke down. She's claiming it's mine. My parents believe her. They want me to leave you and marry her. We're already getting divorced. I know, but... He grabbed my hands. I pulled away. I made a mistake. A terrible mistake. But I never slept with her. She's lying about the paternity to trap me. Then get a paternity test. She won't agree until after the baby's born. Ralph, why are you telling me this? He looked broken. Because you're the only person who's ever truly loved me. Not for my money or my family name. Just me. Tears streamed down his face. And I threw it away. I let my mother poison my mind. I let Simone manipulate me. I'm sorry. God, Kendra, I'm so sorry. I stood. I accept your apology. But we're still getting divorced. Even if the baby isn't mine? Especially if the baby isn't yours. Because then you were played by everyone you chose over me. His phone buzzed. He looked at it and went pale. What? Mom. Simone had bleeding. She's at the hospital. Then go. Kendra. Go. He left. I sat alone in that conference room shaking. Part of me felt vindicated. Another part felt sad. Sad for the man who'd let everyone else write his story. My phone buzzed. Janelle, Jeffrey accepted our terms. Divorce is final in 30 days. Finally. Freedom. Simone lost the baby. The family was devastated. Diane called me crying. Kendra, I know we've had our differences, but Simone lost the baby. Ralph is falling apart. He needs family right now. I'm not his family anymore. Please. Just come to the hospital. Show him you still care. Why would I do that? Because you're a good person. Better than. She trailed off. Better than what, Diane? Better than Simone. Silence. After 5 years of telling me I wasn't good enough, now you want me to be the bigger person? I was wrong, she whispered. I was so wrong about you. I hung up. But guilt gnawed at me. Against every logical instinct, I went to Piedmont Hospital. Ralph sat in the waiting room, head in his hands. He looked up when I entered. Kendra. I heard about the baby. I'm sorry. He stood, embraced me. I stood stiff, unresponsive. She lied, he whispered into my hair. Before they lost the baby, they did genetic testing. It wasn't mine. I pulled away. Whose was it? Some guy named Travis. Her ex-boyfriend. He laughed bitterly. She was going to trap me. Make me believe I was the father. My mother was going to help her. Diane knew. Found out yesterday. Mom confronted Simone. That's when the bleeding started. The stress of being caught. I sat down heavily. Your mother was willing to destroy our marriage based on a lie. I know. She knew Simone was pregnant by another man and was going to let you believe it was yours. I know. His voice echoed through the waiting room. I know, Kendra. I know my family is toxic. I know I chose them over you. I know I destroyed the best thing I ever had. Yes. You did. The divorce was supposed to be finalized quietly. Instead, Ralph refused to sign. I want to fight for us, he told Janelle during a pretrial conference. Mr. Williams, Janelle said coolly, you have no grounds. You committed adultery. A kiss. One kiss. You emotionally betrayed your wife for 5 years. Your family psychologically abused her. You funded your ex-girlfriend's lifestyle while your wife paid your debts. I'll go to therapy, marriage counseling, whatever it takes. I spoke for the first time. No. Ralph turned to me. Kendra, I love you. You love the idea of me. The stability I provided. The unconditional support. But you don't respect me. You never did. That's not true. Then why did you let your mother compare me to Simone for 5 years without defending me once? Why did you meet Simone secretly? Why did you send her money behind my back? He had no answer. The judge, a black woman named Gloria Thornton, reviewed the evidence. The recordings. The bank statements. The hotel receipts. Mr. Williams, she said, I've presided over many divorces. This is one of the clearest cases of marital misconduct I've seen. Your Honor, I made mistakes. You made choices. Calculated, repeated choices. She looked at me. Mrs. Williams, you're granted full divorce. The house is yours. Mr. Williams will pay $2,000 monthly in alimony for 5 years, plus reimburse you $78,000 for his student loans. Assets are split 60-40 in your favor. Ralph's face crumbled. I'll be financially ruined. You should have thought about that before betraying your wife, Judge Thornton said coldly. This court is adjourned. Outside the courtroom, Ralph grabbed my arm. Please, don't do this. I removed his hand. It's already done. I'll appeal. And I'll play those recordings for every judge in Georgia. 3 months later, I sat in my house finally at peace. The divorce was final. Alimony payments started. Ralph had been forced to sell his luxury car to cover the student loan reimbursement. Janelle called with news. Diane and Robert are getting divorced. What? Apparently, Robert found out about Diane's scheme with Simone. He was disgusted. He's filing for divorce and cutting Diane out of his will. How do you know? Robert called me. He wants to apologize to you. In person. I agreed to meet him at a coffee shop in Midtown. Robert looked older, worn. Kendra, he began, I failed you. I let Diane control our family dynamics. I let her poison my son against you. Why? Because it was easier than fighting her. And because I'm a coward. He slid an envelope across the table. This is a check. $100,000. It won't undo the damage, but it's something. I pushed it back. I don't want your money. Please. Let me make this right somehow. You can't. But you can do something else. Anything. Tell Ralph the truth. That his mother manipulated him. That Simone was using him. That I was the only one who truly loved him. He knows that now. Does he? Because he's still calling me. Texting me. Showing up at my job. Robert's jaw tightened. I'll talk to him. 2 weeks later, the calls stopped. The texts stopped. Ralph finally let me go. Nana Jean visited monthly. She'd disowned Diane entirely, leaving her estate to me and 3 other grandchildren. You're more family to me than my own daughter, she said. I'm sorry I didn't protect you sooner. You protected me when it mattered. She smiled. You're going to do great things, baby girl. Without that dead weight. 1 year after the divorce, I stood in my backyard, expanded and renovated with the alimony money, hosting a barbecue for my real friends. Colleagues from work. Janelle. Trevor. Nana Jean. To Kendra, someone shouted. And her freedom. Glasses clinked. Laughter filled the air. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I heard you're doing well. I'm happy for you. I'm sorry I wasn't the man you deserved. I deleted it without responding. Trevor approached, 2 plates of food in hand. You okay? Perfect, I said, meaning it. He'd asked me to dinner last month. I'd said yes. We were taking things slow, but there was something real there. Something honest. What are you thinking about? He asked. How much I've changed. A year ago I would have responded to that text. Would have given him another chance. And now I know my worth. I know what I deserve. And it's not a man who chose everyone else over me. Nana Jean joined us, champagne in hand despite her doctor's orders. To my favorite granddaughter-in-law who isn't my granddaughter-in-law anymore. We laughed. Later, as guests departed, I stood alone on my deck, watching the sunset paint Atlanta's skyline gold and crimson. My house. My life. My terms. Ralph had texted again. Can we talk? I blocked the number. My lawyer called that evening. Ralph filed for bankruptcy. The alimony and loan reimbursement destroyed his finances. He's living with Diane now. That's unfortunate, I said, feeling nothing. Simone's getting married. To Travis. Good for her. You're really over this, aren't it? I smiled. Completely. I was more than over it. I was reborn. The woman who'd accepted crumbs was gone. In her place stood someone who knew her value. Someone who wouldn't settle. Someone who'd walked through fire and emerged titanium. My phone buzzed again. Not Ralph this time. Trevor, dinner tomorrow? There's something I want to ask you. Yes, I typed back. Yes to whatever it is. Because my story wasn't about the man who betrayed me. It was about the woman who saved herself.